All right, so for all of you that have been following us for a while, you know that our travel trailer has been getting fixed for what seems like forever.
It's 1 week shy of 3 months.
1 week shy of 3 months. We've had our trailer here, Curtis Trailer, getting fixed, and they finally got it done. So we're picking it up today on a nice, beautiful, sunny Oregon afternoon, and we'll kind of walk you through what they did. And we tested the slide and stuff already, and if you're not aware of what happened, we had an issue with the slide on the lance. There's a lance issue from the get-go. Something about the wiring was catching on the baseboard, and when you open the slide, the baseboard just tore off. And so we brought it back here, I don't know, how long ago was that?
A year ago.
About a year ago. They kept it for about a month that time because they had to order a part from Lance, they stated, and it took forever to get it. So they finally got it fixed. We took it out the next time on a trip, and the same thing happened again. And so now what happened when that baseboard popped off the second time, it scratched the heck out of the floor, like just giant gouges, and you can see it on some of the other videos that we posted. And so then we brought it in here to get fixed, and now it's been 3 months later, and they finally got it back, and they had to basically lay a new floor on top of the old floor. And we'll show you what they did and kind of walk through a little bit of that. So gonna get this thing loaded up and finally get it back home, and hopefully next weekend or weekend after we can get it back on the road and stop staying at beautiful, wonderful hotels.
No, the shoe moldings all the way around the inside of the entire trailer were not here before. Those would have had to be installed had we replaced the linoleum in its entirety anyway, rather than doing an overlay, just because we can't pull the walls off and tuck the linoleum underneath. So, and then we found the root cause of what happened with the floor. So, the previous technician, for whatever reason, installed it, but the wood paneling here, instead of being level with the ground, actually kicked up on one edge, so it caught the slide room. And every single one of those round discs is a screw that anchors that to the ground, and basically just caught it and pulled it all the way through the floor. So, had the slide room out personally probably 50 times on the ground to make sure that's not going to catch, because it's the last thing I want.
Yeah, us too.
Yeah.
And a microwave bracket, good.
Yeah, got the new microwave bracket on there.
I think it'll fall off, so that's good.
Yeah.
Or at least when we close it, we'll know.
For sure. Let me grab my forklift. The batteries are kind of low, so it's not struggling to come down.
Oh, okay,
cool. All right, so as you heard, they had to lay some linoleum on top of the linoleum that was already there, and so in order to do that, they had to put in some shoe molding, they call it. It's not that big of a deal. It doesn't look fantastic, but was it all? So all of this was?
Yeah, because they did the entire floor.
Oh,
so,
the entire floor.
Yeah, so they sanded that and then put an entire sheet over the top. Because like you said, the way a trailer is built, you put the floor in first, and then you build everything on top of it.
All right, so after 3 months, I haven't backed this truck up to this trailer in 3 months, and look how good I got the ball.
First try.
On the first try. Yep, Kim's impressed. She knows I got math skills.
Because I was back there guiding him.
Whatever, she didn't guide me. We have a backup camera on this floor. It's that's what guided me. Anyway, all right, so let's take you in here and show you. How do you put the thing down? Let's put our little thing down here. All right, turn on some lights. Just a few lights. And he just pulled down a giant spider, by the way.
I saw it.
All right, so we're not going to pull the slide back out because we've got low batteries, so I have to get those charged up on the way home. But anyway, so what they had to do, like I said, they gouged out that baseboard, just gouged the flooring so bad that they had to replace it. What they did, and one of the reasons why they claimed that it took so long, is they had a company come out and try to actually fill the holes, and it just didn't work up to their standards, they stated. And so at that point they just said, hey, we're gonna have to order some new flooring from Lance and then replace the whole thing. What we weren't aware of, by doing that, actually had to add that extra layer of floor, and then they actually had to add some shoe molding all the way around the whole entire trailer, which it's not terrible, but it's just something additional now that we're gonna have to worry about. that we didn't have to worry
And you
about
get
before.
dirt stuck in it now.
Yeah. So anyway, you've got the shoe molding here. That's basically all the way around the whole entire trailer. And turn on some lights here so you can see. And I went through and I kind of checked and tried to make sure it was flush as could be. But as you can see, they're going all the way around, all the way and into the bathroom as well. So now we've got this molding on the floor here that wasn't there before. So it looked like they did a good job as far as the craftsmanship, but it just
matches.
It matches, yeah.
Identical to our cabinets.
But I don't know what I think about it.
You have no choice.
I know.
I
just don't like when everybody has to add something. I'm not a big fan of that.
It's like they're saying, you can't, the way trailers are built, they're built from the ground up. So the floor gets put in first, then you put the walls on top of it. Well, they're not going to take the walls off to redo the floor, so they couldn't have the floor match exactly around the edges, so they put the molding around to hide the imperfections.
My expectation was that they were going to tear the walls down and put in a new floor for me.
My expectation was that they were going to give us a 2020 Lance, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, they didn't. They definitely didn't work that out. So they didn't. They fixed the microwave bracket. We had an issue with the microwave bracket that wasn't working, so we got that fixed. Was a little surprised that they didn't just comp that for us. What was it? $109. $109 to replace that thing, and it was something that maybe we could have done, but we'd have to order the part and try to deal with that. And I don't know that.
With the wiring.
Yeah, I didn't know that we wanted to mess with moving the microwave around. So maybe something we could have done, but at this point, it's fine. They also, we asked them to, we're having some issues with the door closing, the main door. You have to slam it, and it's just because it's just not lining up correctly, and so we told them to get that fixed. Well, unfortunately, instead of fixing that, well, I shouldn't say unfortunately, fortunately, we had broken the stop on the door on our trip to Utah, and so they ended up replacing that for us, thinking that what we had asked for was for them to replace that, but we were actually going to replace that on our own. So they comped that for us, which is good. But they didn't fix the door issue. So why don't you close the door and just see what ends up happening is you have to slam it to get it to shut. But you know, there's no way I'm going to leave this here again for any extended period of time.
And we figured out how to.
Yeah, it's kind of a pain, but we might continue to work at it and see if we can just fix it on our own. But it's frustrating, but at the same time, it seems like they did their best by us to try to get it done. But why it would take 3 months to get this finished, that's kind of unacceptable, but it just is what it is.
When they had the company come out to try to do the floor, it seemed like it was within the first 2 or 3 weeks when they tried to repair it.
Yeah.
Then they blamed it on Lance to how long it took to get the actual sheet of linoleum, which
this
crazy.
This is a super busy dealership in Portland. I mean, anytime you come here, we're here at 8 o'clock this morning, and it's just filled with people, forklifts, people moving around, all kinds of stuff happening. So they're always busy. So I just assume that they had a lot of other repairs that they just kind of put in front of ours. And
right, so they're not making any money off of ours.
Right.
This was their screw up.
Yeah. So unfortunately, it is what it is. But at least it's fixed finally, and now we can get back to camping again and getting out and making more videos and what have you. So
yay.
Anyway, now we get to load this thing up in the pouring rain and hopefully get out of here in a decent amount of time so that we don't get soaked.
All right, so I just noticed something. Squeeze. Came into the bathroom and the door's closed. And this was one of our problems. This bottom drawer here no longer latched, so when we would drive down the road, it would just fall out. But now, it's latched. So apparently they fixed that, and they didn't tell us they fixed it, and they didn't charge us for it. So, awesome. Yay, thank you.
All right, so loaded up again in the pouring rain. That was good times. It's been a while since I've had this thing attached. So the good thing is I've got this on this Ford F-150 with the tow package. I may have shown this before, but for you folks who haven't seen it, it's pretty cool. It actually goes through a checklist. You see here, it lets you know is your ball coupler connected and locked, which mine is. Electrical wiring connected. Lights functioning, which Kim's checking right now. Safety chain connected. Tongue jack is raised. Mirrors are adjusted, which I will do here momentarily. Trailer brake. And just like that, we're back on the road again. So it'll be a fun day to test this thing back out again.